Hey everybody, Brian Good here on this Tuesday. It's time to talk about the setup this week, and of course we'll focus a lot on Thunder. First off, for today, we've had this cloud deck about 6,000 feet above us. It's been lingering across Kentucky. It's still that moisture that was left behind from the front that came through a couple of days ago. It just left a band of moisture behind, and we're still dealing with it. Meanwhile, Indiana, you guys have had a chance to really see that dry air coming in from the east-northeast, and therefore your rain chance and even cloud cover in many cases, pretty much eliminated. But for Kentucky, there's still enough moisture around. We've got to keep an eye on these little spotty showers, and then later on, we will actually see a little more of a southeast wind kick in as a weak little low moves in from the southwest. And as that takes place, it'll take advantage of the moisture that's here, and it will enhance it in the form of heavier downpours and a few thunderstorms. Indiana will greatly benefit from avoiding a lot of that activity because of the dry air that you guys will have. But let's look at the temperatures first off. Look how cool it is with that clearing that happened in Seymour, 46. Meanwhile, 63 in Louisville with clouds in the area. Here's the HRRR model. It shows us well. I mean, once we get to about 2, 3 o'clock, you'll start to see them pop, especially if getting any sun breaks within that cloud deck in southern Kentucky. And then they'll become more of these cellular structures, and we're not expecting severe weather. Nearly non-existent wind shear in the area. It's very, very weak, but there will be some instability to work with, so we can't rule out a gust of wind and some heavy rain and lightning. What I think may end up happening for the northern fringe here of this, depending on how these cells evolve, a couple of these could, as they collapse, because they're not going to be able to sustain themselves for very long, as they collapse, they could produce an outflow, and that outflow may try to push into Indiana a shower or so over the river. You see a little hints of that on the HRRR model. It's trying to hint an outflow or two, but it would fade out quickly because of the dry air. But it wouldn't surprise me to see that take place. So overall, concentration of thunderstorm activity today will be Kentucky. Louisville's going to be right there on the edge. So we'll keep it at 40% for now, and we'll see how it trends throughout the day. Stay close to the app. Then we head into Wednesday. Wednesday, we're full-on south wind now, or even southwest in many cases. So we're going to raise those dew points up a bit. Can't rule out a thunderstorm, but we don't have a weak little low moving through. We don't have much of a trigger other than the warmth of the day. So a lot of the activity tomorrow is going to be what we refer to as orographic. The mountains, the winds going up to the mountains will create some scattered showers and we run both thunder. So the higher elevations, East Kentucky will likely see the rain chance. We'll keep it at 20% for that idea because a couple pop-ups locally can't be ruled out. It looks warm. In the 80s we go. Then we head into Thursday. That is the warmest day now, it appears. We should quickly approach the 80-degree mark by lunch Thursday, and then we will likely climb into the mid-80s. Models have got us 84. I think we hit about at least 86 the way it's trending, because I think we'll be fairly capped and sunny for a while. And then as we get into the afternoon, as the front approaches, some showers and some thunderstorms work their way in. The wind energy with this, not great. There is some wind shear, though, so I can't rule out an isolated warning to be issued along this line. But the core of the wind with this is going to go with the parent low, which is going to be near Cleveland. So we'll just get only what dynamics the front can do. And the front is actually going to be slowing down as it moves into Kentucky as well. And that reduces the amount of forcing, if you will, with this front. So that will even lower the risk for severe weather even more so. It's not going to slam into the area. In fact, I'm starting to see signs this front may actually stall or linger on Friday. I did raise the rain chance up Friday to 40% for that idea that we could have some showers, cool showers too, 50s and 60s. And it's important to point that out because that same front that will stall will eventually be the front for Thunder over Louisville Day. That will likely become a warm front to an extent. I put it as a warm front, but it's mainly just going to be a boundary. But it will be warmer south of it, so technically, I guess a warm front. This is just a model forecast of temperature, so don't get too worked up on it. But it has us on the cool side, and I think, because this is the Thursday front we're still dealing with on Thunder Day, we need to get that thing as far south as we can on Friday because it will become the main player moving back in for Saturday. And that's a big question mark still on how that will evolve because as we head throughout the day on Saturday, and now we're at the air show time, we begin to get that low pressure rolling out. Now, how fast it rolls out, and of course the exact track, will highly determine the radar look during air show time. I did look at some of the sound needs. It looks like our ceiling would be about 5,000 feet as it stands now at 3 o'clock Saturday. They could do an air show at 3,000 feet, base ceiling. So at this point, they could do a full air show. Even though it will be overcast and cool. It'll be an east-northeast wind, and it'll feel chilly, especially at the waterfront. The rain's a question, because as we head through the time period here into fireworks time, then we got to deal with the slug of rain. Now, some of the models are holding back on this and bringing the majority of it in after the fireworks, as soon as they end. In fact, the heavy rain moves in, which is fine, but a mess for traffic, of course. So still some questions on this. I'm still not sold on the exact track, because this is going to be what we call a closed low. There's not going to be really a front feature to a lot of this. And these closed lows have a tendency to meander around. They can certainly track more south than expected, or even in some cases more north. So the track is not set in stone on this guy. So a track more to the south would certainly delay the rain moving in quite a bit. It would be cooler though. 50s would be the extent. And then we'll certainly deal with the rain on the back side of that low if that current track holds. Now let me show you some of the ensembles of this, because the problem, we got a split flow and loft here over the Rockies, and the models are trying to figure out, okay, which branch do I need to focus on here? Which feature is the one that is likely going to be the more dominant one? And the models have their tendencies to pick out features over the other models, and they have their mistakes they can make sometimes. So you got to go with caution in this kind of step. So ensembles and model trends are your best tool this far out until we get the system on shore and we get a better agreement on the models. So you got to go slow with this. Here are those models and ensembles. Is the GFS, Euro, and Canadian. These are the operational models that update every 6 hours, in some cases 12. And the ensemble idea is kind of reduce the chaos of their idea. So here we are Friday. You can see the energy right here. Looks like over Oklahoma. Euro's got it. Canadian's got it. And the ensembles all have it. Like, so far on Friday, decent agreement here. Saturday, here's where we start to see changes. GFS is really beginning to wind the low up. When you're starting to deepen that low, it's going to move a bit slower. Versus the Euro has a weaker look to the low and therefore faster. Gets here quicker with the rain by the air show time. Canadian, similar to the GFS, a stronger low holds it back. When you look at the ensembles agree on a bit of a stronger low pressure and holding back on that idea. This is going to be Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we still see the problem here with the Euro being fast, already moving into the Carolinas, while the GFS and the Canadians still have it in Arkansas at this point. The ensembles pretty much agree on a slower idea all the way into Sunday. So there's right now the Euro actually is the one that's standing out as an outliner. When you look at the Euro ensembles on the possible low placements at say 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, some of the ensemble members say it'll be in eastern Tennessee over the Smokies, and some have it back here into southwest Missouri. That is the range on the speed of the low. And for our sake, when we're dealing with specific times for an air show and fireworks display, that window, that gap is just too wide for us to have confidence in the time that we need it to be. So stay tuned for updates. We're going to get more data on this very, very soon, but that is the latest thinking on how things are trending. So we'll have more on this in the coming hours. Tune in later today.